Hello again, boys and girls. Today's story is called The Little Maid. Things were definitely not going good in Israel. For one thing, Israel's rulers insisted on worshiping a false god called Baal. God had sent prophets, and among them were Elijah and Elisha, to show his power and give his people a chance to correct their ways. But Israel was stubborn. The nation refused to wholeheartedly stop breaking the first commandment that says you should have no other gods before me. To make matters worse, enemy armies kept trying to invade Israel's borders. First it was the Moabites, and now more recently it was Ben-Hadad II. He was the king of Syria, and they were in the north. The Syrians had been a problem to the Israelites since the time of King David. They would periodically sweep in, they would loot, they would pillage, they would take captives. And during one such raid, a young girl, perhaps not even a teenager as yet, was seized. She was destined to become a slave in the house of the mighty Naaman. Naaman was the field marshal for his powerful Syrian king. The young captive was presented to Naaman and his wife. She realized something. She realized that they didn't worship the true God. In fact, they worshiped idols. But this little young girl determined that she was not going to worship idols. You see, her mom and dad had taught her to worship the one true God. The time came one day that the little maid noticed that her mistress was very sad. She got brave enough to go up to her and said, "What's wrong?" Her mistress said to her, "Captain Naaman has leprosy. He has leprosy and no one to make him well." Well, the young captive knew that where she came from, leprosy was banned from her village. And if you had leprosy, you had to leave. You couldn't stay in your home anymore. But the little captives thought, "I know a solution." You see, the young girl had seen many different changes, and she had heard many stories about God's power. So she got the courage and she said to her mistress, "I know someone." Not only did her mistress listen, but so did Naaman. He took the matter directly to his king, who in turn wrote a letter to Jehoram, the king of Israel. He wrote, "Now be advised when this letter comes to you that I have sent Naaman my servant to you, that you may heal him of his leprosy." Naaman left soon afterwards on his journey to Israel, taking the royal letter and 10 talents of silver. On his way, he met the prophet Elijah. And the prophet Elijah told him what to do to make it well. When he went back, he must have been so happy that he was well, that he decided that he was now going to worship the God of Israel. All because a little maid, a young girl, had courage to stand up for what she believed. She had courage to talk about the God she believed to someone who didn't believe. Wow, that is such a powerful reminder that we can be a witness for God anywhere. We do not have to be afraid to say that we love Jesus. We do not have to be afraid to say that our God is powerful, because He is. And I'm pretty sure that that little maid was always treated much better than she was. Why? Because she stood up for Jesus. And you know what, boys and girls? She won 2 souls to the kingdom. Isn't that wonderful? That when we stand up for Jesus, He can use us to bless others in such a wonderful way that many might turn to Him because of our life. So let us be courageous and stand firm for God, and know that He will always stand firm for us. See you next time.